Hello, welcome back. All right, today's workout we're going to be standing and we're going to do similar principles that we've been doing with this foundational kind of Pilates type movement, where we're going to be learning really subtle movements that are going to be strengthening our inner core, the TVA, the transverse abdominis and the abdominis rectus, working those inner obliques and the outer obliques. I'm going to be using a band. If you have something like this at home, please grab it. Something similar to this would be those long elastic bands, like resistance bands. You can get an elastic resistance band and just tie a knot on it. That could work until you find something like this. You can find these pretty cheap, about 25 bucks on Amazon. I like really thick, tight ones because we're going to be putting it around our thighs and resisting the tension of this band. And this band is really just to get the awareness at like the pelvic floor and the very inner deep core muscles. Okay, so let's start by standing and just feeling the resistance. So the band is a way to get that sensation, but that's not to say that you can't get the sensation without the band. So I imagine right now you probably don't have a band. And so what you're going to do is you're going to just press you can see because I have the band, you're going to see how I'm pushing my legs out into the band. And then I'm going to relax out. And so see if you can do that kind of action with me. So we're going to resist the band, or just like resist the space, and then bring the legs back in. And it's kind of like I'm going onto the outside edges of my feet and then going onto the inside edges of my feet. I'm resisting, I'm strengthening, I'm engaging my core, and then I'm relaxing a little bit. So just doing that a couple times. And then we're going to reach the arms up and over the head. And whenever I do any kind of movement practice, I start with length. So we're lengthening from the crown of the head, and having the arms up just makes me feel so tall and stretched out. Whatever you had going on before this, we're just going to let that sit to the side. You can just sit that experience onto the couch. We're going to be reaching. Just kind of any like little authentic movement. There's no real wrong way to move and warm up. Okay, let's reach the arms up and then exhale the hands down. Reaching the arms up on an inhale, standing up even taller, maybe gazing up underneath the hands. And then exhale, press the air down, pushing the air. You can fill it up later. It's not going to work right now. Yeah, it's not going to work right now. You can do that later.
I just want to do it like a band.
Then you'll have to go in the other bathroom.
Okay.
Okay, and keep the door shut. It's better for my video quality. Okay, inhale, the arms come up. And exhale, press the ground, press the air away. Let the shoulders relax. Feel the space between the ears and the shoulders. Our hands are facing forward, fingers are facing down. And let's take a moment to engage the breath. So right away, we're engaging belly muscles. We're tightening all the way down and getting that lift at the pelvic floor. And we're inhaling that infinite possibility. Exhaling, tightening. Inhaling space in the rib cage. Exhale, knit the ribs, hug the belly, pull up and in from the pelvic floor. And then on next inhale, we're going to reach the arms up and we're going to sit our hips back into a chair pose. In the chair pose, we want to be pretty meticulous about how we're doing our chair. We're sitting back just as if there was that imaginary chair there, going as low as we can. And I'm going to resist the band. So I'm going to go out, do little pulses out, and then I'm going to stand up. Good idea, grabbing the stool. Inhale tall. Exhale, stick the butt back, keep your spine extended, sit yourself down as far as you can go, and then you're going to let your legs go out and in. Inhale up. Let's do that for 10. Exhale. So I'm inhaling to come up. I'm going to exhale to go down and pulse out. Trying to keep my feet nice and stable on the ground. 4, 5, 4. Squeezing the butt on your way up. Arms are active, hands are active. We want to be engaged in every part of our body. And 2. And last one, we're going to stay down. Let's switch our hands down onto our hips and we're going to start to pulse the legs out for 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15. So I'm keeping my pelvic girdle nice and integral. I'm going to switch to the side so you can see that I'm not rounding my spine or arching the spine, keeping straight spine. 10. My hands can stay on the hips, your hands can stay at your heart, your hands can be on your knees. You can do hammer knees. It's like the Jane Fonda move too. Woo! Feeling the burn, 2 and 1. Stand up. Ooh, nice. That feels good. Okay, so this next one we can do with the band, and without the band, it works just as well. So now we're going to do outward kicks. We're going to do 10 on each side. So make sure that you're standing with your feet integral. You're lifting up from the arches of the feet. The toes are spread out. Soft knees, hands on the hips. Sit yourself up nice and tall. Inhale tall. Exhale, belly's engaged. And let's start. So I'm going to try to barely lean over. 2. I'm flexing my foot, toes are facing forward. I'm trying to keep my body as stationary as possible, like I'm not kicking this leg. So I'm not going to lean over and totally overcompensate. I'm just doing just enough to get this leg out and in. And I'm not just dropping it in, I'm lowering it down with control. Same thing as when we were lowering our arms. We want to be pressing the air. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's go one more time and pulse for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice. Ooh, that feels, I feel it. We want to squeeze the butt, so we're working the muscles we want to be working. If we're going loosey-goosey, the muscles that are going to take over are just those big players, but we want to work as a team. We're going to the other side for 10, 9. I just heard something out there. I'm just going to cross my fingers. Everything's okay. She's filling up a bucket of water. That doesn't always end well. And the dog is in the backyard. But these are these moments, you know, we just carve out these moments to take care of our body because you know it's going to be better for our future selves. And you know, what are we teaching our little ones or our family members or our friends? You know, we're setting that example and doing something for ourselves. Whew, okay, I lost count. Let's do our pulses. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yes. The burn. That's what we want to feel. We want to feel the burn. Okay, now we're going to do a little crab walks. So we're still working the thighs. We're turning on the thighs and the butt. Actually, we're going to do the crab walks after we do our little standing crunches. So feet are hip width distance, soft knees. And let's interlace the hands at the nape of the neck. And when I do this, I find any opportunity to get a little massage on the neck, open up the throat. And then take a moment to lean your weight back. Let your hands hold your head. And simultaneously, we're opening the chest, drawing the scapula toward each other. Inhale, exhale, tight belly. Inhale, broader through the rib cage. And exhale, now we're going to start to crunch the abs. So we're drawing our rib cage and our pelvis toward each other. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, crunch. We're going to do this for 20. This is like the same thing as a crunch on the floor. So you're rolling your whole shoulder girdle, taking it all as in this one component. I'm exaggerating my breath to keep you on track, keep you focused that the breath is the star of the show. Keep pulling up and in from the belly muscles, doing your Kegel. Every exhale, it gets tighter. Every inhale, the breath gets deeper into the shoulders, the armpits, the rib cage. Let's do 5, 4, 2, and last one. Crunch it down. Inhale, open, hold your head, get a little hyperextension in the back. And then prop your head. Use your hands to prop your head to neutral. Let's reach our arms out. Arms are going out parallel to the ground. Palms are perpendicular to the ground. And then hands float down. Reach the arms up. Exhale, same thing. Palms out, arms parallel. Okay, the next exercise is what we call the crab walk. The crab walk is being in a squat, and we're going to go a few to one side and a few to the other side. So I'm going to start on one side of my mat, and I'm going to sit back into that chair pose, and my feet are hip width distance. And I'm only going to step about a half step away, and especially since I'm using this strap, I'm not going to be able to go very far. The strap's going to limit my my movement, and I have resistance. So I'm keeping my feet about hip width distance as I'm crab walking. I'm going forward to one side and forward to the other side. I'm keeping my belly nice and tucked. So I'm not letting gravity take over. You know, you can see I can let gravity take over. I can let this all hang out, but I'm making a choice to hug it up and in. So I'm engaging. There's integrity here. It's very, very tight. You know, even with these simple movements, with how much I've been doing it and for how long, I still can get a workout. So just because it looks simple doesn't mean it's not hard. So trust me, I know. And then we're sitting back nice and deep. You can see how I'm sitting back. And I like to even lift up my butt. So, you know, this is a shameless practice here. You know, we're all human, and we all want our butt to differentiate from our hamstrings, I think. And so we're gonna pick up the glutes, and so that you're getting all those little connecting muscles to turn on. Okay, we're gonna do 5 more. We're going over for 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Go over here for the last one. Nice little crab walks. And stand up, squeeze the butt, hug up and in. Great. Let's take off this band. Ooh. We don't need that for right now. We're gonna do some little dancing arms. So in dancing arms, let's stand up with a wider stance, like kind of a horse stance or power stance. In yoga, sometimes we call this our goddess stance. So let's stand with the legs a little wider and catch my breath. And we're gonna dance our arms. Dancing arms. Dancing arms is our hands can be spread, fingers can be spread out, or you can make a gentle fist. And what we're doing is basically making circles at our shoulder joint. So this is not an elbow thing. It's not a wrist thing. It's a shoulder. So your shoulder is a ball and socket joint, and we're getting into that full range of motion of the shoulder. And we're gonna do it an unusual amount of times. These are these funny things that we do for our body so we can have sustainable movement. Moving every joint every day. Okay, we'll build up to this. When I do this, I do about 30 on each direction. We'll do 4, 3, 2, 1, and now we're gonna switch directions. And so whatever you had doing with your hands, that first direction, do the opposite the second direction. So I had like a gentle fist, and now I have jazz hands. And I'm feeling how I'll give you that back view again, how scapular coming in and back. Scapular pulling back. And while I'm doing this, I'm in kind of a stance here, like I'm gonna ride a horse. And so I have this integrity in my belly. Which direction was I going? Uh-oh, I forgot. All right, let's do 5 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Reach the arms out, parallel to the ground, palms face away. Whew, feel the burn, and then bring your fingers together into a point. Fingers go toward the wrists, circles at the wrists. I don't know about you, this little workout already got me sweating, and that's the goal. Just a little sweat, a little circulation, get the lymphatic system going. Whew, let's shake it out. Shake it out. Okay, now we're gonna step it out. We're gonna have one knee come up, move the ankle around. We're getting it up so high that it's like moving the digestive organs. This is great for your digestion, for your circulation. Flex the toes, point the toes, flex, point, flex, point, flex, point. And circles at the knees, or at the hip. The knee is making this big beach ball shaped circle. And I'm hugging up and in. So even this, we are doing like mat Pilates, but we're standing. So you want to notice that we can engage the same way in different shapes. So when we're going through our day and we're, grabbing that dog leash off the ground, I'm going to engage the same way. I'm going to hug up and in. I'm going to get that crunch, and then I'm going to move my body. Let's do out. And like if you want a little challenge, hold your arms out. Yes. So I always breathe in and out of my nose. You might notice that. I might have talked about that already. Breathing in and out of your nose is so that you can get that fifth gear. When you really get fatigued, then all of a sudden you go to the mouth to breathe through. But if you're breathing through your mouth the whole time, you don't have that emergency gear to get into when you start to fatigue. So I'm hugging up and in. Core is engaged. Core still engaged. I'm using my core muscles to move my leg. And the other direction. Whoa, wobbly bobbly. Wobblies. So good. Like before I did this video, I'm running around like a chicken with my head cut off here at home. Got the kids, got dinner plans, friend coming over later. It's like we just make time. And I'm feeling so much better doing this. Just working out, moving my body alone, myself. With you. You heard my muse. All right, hips, circles, big circles. Get a little hamstring stretch in there. Shift the hips back, straight back. Pelvis gets a nice stretch in the front. The psoas, the lower belly muscles. Both directions. Great, and then we're gonna put our hands down onto the floor. And so the wider you have your legs here, the closer the floor is gonna be for you. If you can touch the floor really easily, the feet come back together. But we want our feet to be wider than the hips. And we're gonna do pretty fast, like rainbow arms. Arm goes up, hand goes down. Arm goes up, wiggle the fingers, look up at the fingers, exhale, hands down. So the inhale takes the arm up, the exhale, the arm goes down. And so when we're putting our arm down though, same thing, we're pushing the air away. Inhale, sweeping it up, feeling that extension. So my torso is pivoting at the center part of my torso, like at the thoracic spine. I'm getting the twist there. And so my shoulders are becoming perpendicular with my pelvis. And I want my pelvis to stay neutral. It might not be. You can be the judge of that, but that's my goal. Hi, Veda. Okay, and I just want to give another little tidbit here. You can stay for a moment. You can hug your belly up and in. You can get a little movement in your spine. I totally invite authentic movement when I'm cueing something. You can always just stop and pause and be like, "Ooh, that feels good. I want to stay there." Okay, the next couple, let's do really fast. Rapid lightning. Rapid. Nice, and we're gonna bend our knees deeply, sit down in this low squat, and then unfurl the spine to come up. Let's do that another time. Let's float our body down, bend knees, and unfurl up. One more, inhale. Ooh, let it all out and come back up. Great, feet closer together now. Arms reach up and over the head. I'm actually gonna have my feet totally together. Hands in a little steeple type position. My biceps are gonna squeeze my head. Squeezing the head, I'm just gonna bend. I'm just gonna bend over to one side. I'm shifting my hips the other side. We call this like a half moon shape. Squeeze the belly up and in. Notice your feet. Inhale to come up. Exhale to the other side. Inhale to come up one more time on each side, just for 3 breaths. Notice that inhale getting length. Notice the exhale, all of that strength. Keep squeezing your palms, squeezing your arms by your head. Inhale to come up. Exhale to the other side. Let's be aware of what's going on in our belly. Inhale up the center channel, even though we're bent. And exhale, find a little more space on that side body. And the next inhale takes you up. And the exhale has the hands point away from each other and press the ground or the air away toward the ground. Rolling the shoulders. Rolling the head. Another direction. And hands to the heart. Bow your head. Thank yourself for practicing, for prioritizing your care. Thank you.